Hey, I'm Dave. This is Patrick, and we're May. We're part of May, and this is our van behind us. In fact, the name of our van is Fantasia. We bought this van used from a company in Nashville that rents out vans and RVs to bands, and we needed to buy one, so we bought this guy. And this is our 9x14 double axle trailer back here. Fantasia is all black as she should be. So I would say this might be May's 5th van. We were a bus band for several years too, so we've owned several vans and rented several buses. This starts to show you some of the character. Zach, our guitar player, just bought a few vinyl records at a record store in Columbus, Ohio a couple days ago. He's got the Descendants, he's got Radiohead, he's got Pissed Jeans. He's got a lot of vinyl. So this is only represents a small fraction of the music that he likes to listen to. As far as tour tips go, you always got to keep Lysol in your van to make sure that you're keeping it smelling fresh, and like disinfectant is very important for 7 guys traveling around in a van. I don't want to touch these personally, but Zach also had 7-layer dip tortilla combos, which I kept asking him, can you taste the black olives separately from the tomatoes, from the cheese, from the beans, from the guacamole, from the sour cream? He said he could, and I'm just going to take his word on that. Of course, an empty cup of coffee, because there's plenty of coffee consumed. Drink plenty of water, read plenty of books. Always keep gum and mints close by, because if you want to be talking to people who buy tickets and come to your shows, you're going to be real close because it's very loud most of the time at a venue. So just make sure that you have fresh breath, because you don't want to offend someone who, you know, is a fan of yours by having very bad smelling breath. So I'm going to actually chew on a Mentos piece of gum for the remainder of this conversation. This is probably the most important piece of gear in the van, because it's a USB and it connects obviously to, in my case, an iPhone charger. This is the rule that we have in our van is whoever is driving gets to choose the music. That's probably the only person who needs to be staying awake. Obviously the driver needs to be staying awake, but usually if there's only 7 of us and you're driving straight, you know, for 150 miles, you don't need to have someone navigating for you. So it's just really important to make sure that the driver is comfortable and awake and well caffeinated if that's necessary, and gets to choose the music. And so today I drove, and we had sort of like an 80s thing going at one point. We listened to all of Purple Rain, we listened to some Genesis, some Hall & Oates, some more recent bands that we listened to today as well was the new Local Natives record. We listened to the new Barcelona record. We listened to, Postal Service was the record that actually got us here. So that kind of like made things switch around a little bit. But it's mainly music, and if not, it might be NPR or like Comedy Central. A lot of podcasts are what we listen to on our own time. So whoever's driving will decide if we're listening to podcasts or music or whatever.
The chance to drive, yes.
The chance. Yeah, you make it sound like it's thing that everybody wants to grab.
I'm just like chomping at the bit for it. If I'm driving, I like to really bum everyone out as much as possible, so it's kind of like non-stop Elliott Smith on rotation. Elliott Smith, I like a lot of old school blues, R&B, and funk, so Chic and Parliament Funkadelic and Rotary Connection and stuff in that vein, and yeah.
So in a 15-passenger van, you have 4 bench seats, but we only have 1. And the first 3 are like shorter, or not as, they don't take up as much space as the one in the back. We took the one in the very back, we put it in the very front, so that way whoever is sitting here, or if many people are sitting here, there's just more room. But what we have right behind us here is this bunk system that Patrick built for us now going on what, like 3 or 4 years ago?
Yeah, something like that.
It's been that long?
Been a minute.
And we can comfortably sleep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 in here. And we travel with 7 or 8. This tour we only have 7.
Yeah.
So it's quite possible that if one person is driving, everybody else can be sleeping soundly for hours at a time, because it really is that comfortable. The way we built these bunks, well, Patrick can talk about like the actual hardware and the 2x4s, but the way I made the mattresses was just by getting the memory foam that people put on their beds most of the time and turning them into mini mattresses. And you can just go to a place like Bargain Hunt, or like it's like the Aldi's of Walmart, sort of, is what a bargain hunt is. It's like buying bulk and buying things for cheap and stuff. So there's a lot of comfortable memory foam that allows people to sleep. But one person would sleep this way, like head here, feet here, and the other two would sleep like head right here. In fact, here's a pillow, and feet at the end of the van. And then if you go down below, oh, and here's another, like, we have certain things like this, which are really nice. This came with the van when we bought it. So we can watch movies. We've got a DVD player down below, and we have a power converter down below too.
Very important.
So we mounted a few, what do you call them?
Just like power strips?
Yeah, power strips, of course. So we mounted a few power strips. So it's really important for everybody to have a charged phone in general, whether you're traveling or not. Like, that's always important, right, is to have a charged phone. Or computer, etc. So we've got plenty of ways to entertain you and let yourself be entertained with your smartphones while you're in our van. One time on tour, we brought out what, like a Nintendo.
We had an N64.
N64. So we went old school. Years and years ago, I brought a TV that had a Nintendo built into it. It was a different van. But it was like the way that you used to be able to buy TVs with VCRs built in the bottoms, or more recently DVD players built into the bottoms. I found at a garage sale when I was a kid a television with a Nintendo built into it. So I had that TV in here, and it was strapped to the chair and to a crate that it sat on, and we would play video games. I remember one time we watched the Beatles anthology. It's like 8-volume anthology. We watched that driving from St. Louis to San Diego. We were ending a tour with our friends in Armor for Sleep and getting ready to join our friends in something corporate. And we watched the entire Beatles anthology on that like 30-hour drive. And I had already seen it a few times because I'm kind of a Beatles fanatic. But I was really excited the other guys were able to watch it for the first time too. I rented a few DVDs at Redbox and totally forgot to return them, and then I saw on my credit card statement that, like, you know, I had just paid Redbox like $60 for 2 DVDs I never even watched. And then I gave them back. They were mine to own because I had maxed out the number of days and they were mine, but I didn't want them, so I just gave them back. So that was just a waste of time and money, but we don't use this thing too often. I don't know why. I think just because we like talking and hanging out and listening to music more than we like watching TV in the van. Actually, probably me more than anybody else. I'll sleep anywhere, but if I get to choose my spot and I'm not driving, I either want to be driving, navigating, or right here. Yeah, so I'm the one who likes to either be in the driver's seat, passenger seat, or right up front, right here. I just like to be close to the decision making. I don't know if I'm just like a little neurotic or paranoid or something, but it's just one of those things where if you're down below, which you haven't even seen down here, there's a little bit of a cake because my birthday was last week and our booking agent sent us some cupcakes and a cake for my birthday. But if you're down below with these door closed and the van moving, like, you really can't communicate with anybody. You definitely can't see anything outside. So I almost never want to be down there unless, like, I know I just really need to sleep for 8 hours and we're driving, say, from like Phoenix to Austin to like Phoenix, and that drive is, you know, 1,000 miles probably. Then I might get down there and sleep for 8 hours or so.
So this was my second take at designing bunks for this band, or for Schematic, I guess, was the first run when we had Vanna White and her emotional baggage.
Vanna White and her emotional baggage was the name of our van and trailer back then.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was a white van, so, you know, obviously, Vanna White. But yeah, the first time I went about making them, we had built basically like a platform in the middle, and we had the bench seat actually behind that, and then we had one small bunk up here. And so it was pretty interesting. The top of that we used to call the man gliders, because you're basically hang gliding, because it liked to do this action all the time. Below that was the boy zone. You had the bench. This was back here. This was Eagle's Nest. And then down here was Lone Wolf, because even more so than this, you were completely isolated from the rest of the band. One person could fit back here underneath this bunk, and then there was a bench seat in front of you. So you were like you went there when it's like, I don't want to talk to anybody for 8 hours. So now, getting into this one, I had some better ideas about how to make it structurally stable. This was a bitch to build, just because you're putting something that is rectangular into a space that does this and this action. So finding a way to fit 3 bunks in an interconnected scheme, make it structurally sound and fit was a blast. I took this out several times to cut off and like, all right, it's gonna work now. Nope. All right, let's cut a little more. All right. But yeah, basically just yeah, we ended up putting a bunch of padding and stuff, but these were just like some big old, I think like 8x2s or something. And we just have
yoga mats on the bottom, so that way if you hit your head, it's not.
Oh, there's some trash.
Yeah, so that's the way you find trash, is just by hitting the bottom.
Just hit the bottom a little bit. But yeah, basically there's the one bunk up at the front going this way, and then the 2 coming back here. Basically, I think these were 2x6s or something up top, and then there's just slats underneath for support. And then yeah, just the memory foam stuff is dropped into here, and these are all just sistered together. And then yeah, just all bolstered up. Everything is doubled up that can be doubled up, just to keep things from wanting to shift around and rock. But yeah, we just, I think we got a futon mattress.
Yep, 2 futon mattresses.
2 futon mattresses down on the bottom, so 2 people can comfortably fit down there and hang. Sure. But yeah, you're kind of cut off from the windows and everything, so it's like a dark space that it's like,
it's great for sleeping if you want and have like 8 hours to kill. If you have to go to the bathroom,
it's terrible.
You have to call somebody and hope they answer. And that's really rough at like 3 o'clock in the morning when everybody's asleep except for the driver, but the driver is just like got their earbuds in and not paying attention. Okay. And you're texting over and over again, just asking them, please can I go to the bathroom, please? And you don't get a response for 45 minutes, you just gotta hold it and wait.
Yeah.
Trailer's totally empty because all of our gear is inside right now. So you just have a few suitcases.
Yeah, really the only modifications was the shelves.
That's right, you built these shelves for us.
Shelves, yeah.
But talk about the thing that you built that didn't work. Remember how you built a wall?
Did we ever actually try to make... Oh, that's right. Oh, God, yes, I forgot about that.
We built a wall so that the luggage and the merch would be on this side and all the gear would be on this side. You know, the wall basically came to right here, but there was obviously much more weight on the back end of the trailer, and we broke an axle because of it. So we had to rip it out and end that, but he put a whole lot of work trying to help us do something we thought would be good for organization and convenience, and it turned out to be bad for the trailer's like stability itself.
I mean, honestly, what do you need, stability or organization?
Well, I think it needs to be stable, and it is now.
That's fair.
It is now.
That's fair.
I bought this for the band, not like personal money, but like I remember going out to like middle of nowhere, Tennessee to buy it, and it had never been used before, and it's been really trustworthy for us. It's plenty of space for us. It's a 9x14, and it's double axle, which means we got to pay more every time you go through a toll, which is literally highway robbery.
Me, take a loan out.
I almost took a loan out because it was like a $23.80 toll just for us to get into Chicago from like right outside. So I don't even know if there's a tip there for a band, except if you can travel on a one axle, you'll end up saving a lot of money. When we were touring in the Northeast on the New Jersey Turnpike, we probably spent over $200 just in tolls for a weekend's worth of shows. And so, you know, traveling around on double axle is safer and also more expensive. Hey, I'm Dave from May. This is Patrick, and you can go to www.whatismay.com and check out our brand new song called Our Love is a Painted Picture. You can follow us on Instagram, What Is May. Let's see, Twitter, I think it's also What Is May. If not, it's May Band. If you just search May, What Is May, or May Band, you'll find all the new music and all the stuff that we're up to right now.